Hello, good morning, year 10. This lesson, what we're going to be looking at, as soon as I bring it up, is the Solidarity movement in Poland. So if you could just write down the title, what can we learn from Solidarity in Poland? This was a trade union. I'll explain what a trade union is. That was prominent in Poland, really beginning in 1980, and it grew in popularity and influence throughout Poland and then Eastern Europe. And it was one of the main reasons why communism lost appeal, or certainly Soviet communism in Eastern Europe. So just correct that, in Eastern Europe. So, what was solidarity? So, one thing I'm just going to remind you guys of at the moment is the specification of the exam board, and you can see that here. This is the key question for this lesson. And when it comes to the exam, and so in terms of specified content, this is the only thing they can assess you on in the exam. It's solidarity in Poland. So obviously we need to know who they were, what they did, and how eventually it led to the collapse of Soviet power in Eastern Europe, which is the overall heading. And that's really what we've been looking at, the Soviet control over Hungary and Czechoslovakia and the violent uprising, and how that was suppressed, the erection and then the dismantling of the Berlin Wall, and then solidarity, and finally the big point there is Gorbachev, who comes into power in the mid 80s, and his policies lead to the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. So, what I want you to do first of all is think fast. I want you to read these three questions and then say the answer out loud to yourself. You have exactly 1 minute, and then check through your answers to see if you were correct once you've done that. So pause the video and then go over that. All right, welcome back. So, what I want you to do, and this PowerPoint will be uploaded, is I want you to now start learning about what the Solidarity movement was. Now, just to explain, because it's one thing that you might not understand, trade unions are collections of workers who decide that through their unity, they are more likely to get what they want, which is better pay and better conditions. Now, communism, socialism and communism, the principle behind that is that the workers are the people in charge of the government. They own the things that produce things, like factories, like farms. The workers own them. But in reality, what that means is people who declare themselves as representatives of the workers own them. So in communism, you have the rulers of communist states who say, well, we represent the workers and we'll tell you how you can go about living your life, and we'll make sure that you get the best paying conditions. Now, that means that countries are that there are trade unions for each organization, meaning a union of people in a certain trade. So it might be shipbuilders, it might be weapons makers, it might be farmers. They're all collectivized, but the government is their representative, so they don't actually have anyone to negotiate with. So it's not like in Britain or America, where, let's say, Ford car workers have a trade union. Well, it's not Ford car workers, the General Auto Workers Union. I remember that from the USA section, where they will say we are working in the interests of all of the car workers, and they negotiate directly with Ford or with another car company. Now, in communist countries, you're only allowed to have one trade union, and that's the Communist Trade Union. Solidarity was already a challenge to communist power because they were an independent trade union. And so they start to undermine the power of communism from the left. And by the left, I mean from that they're not coming at it from a capitalist perspective, they're coming at it from a socialist perspective. All right, so have a read through of this article. Some of that might make more sense to you once you read through this, and then write down 3 things you learn about Polish resistance to Soviet rule. Okay, all right, pause the video, move on. Next, all right, there is a worksheet which I've uploaded, this one here. You can see there, helpfully broken up into steps. And the last 9 events, you need to add a title, add detail to them using pages 126 and 127 of the textbook. So you can see there they need titles, and they need details. So all of them need a title, except these ones. So step 1 to 8 need a title, but they've got the detail. Step 9 to 15 has a title but no detail. So fill that in. And then finally, I want you to memorize the bullet points on page 126. And the bullet points of 126 look a bit like this. You can see there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Good luck.